Hello, welcome to the Full Frame Podcast with Mark and Ben. I'm Mark. That's Ben. This is the Full Frame Podcast with Mark and Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Mark.
Today we're going to be talking about photography projects, and we'll talk about if we've got photography projects, photography projects we've liked, and photography projects we've seen.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to be photo books and photos of the month.
I'd like to also talk a bit about, I don't know, the struggles of a project.
Should we start with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've never really had like a solid project to focus on. I just think I just get sidetracked too much, or I either get sidetracked or like I dwell on the idea for long enough that I convince myself it's shit.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same.
Do you know what I mean? So I've got one that I think is really good, and I think other people could do it so much better than me that I don't even want to say it.
Okay.
So
the tens of people watching this,
yeah,
you don't even want to say it.
Yeah, but there'll be like, it's street photography based, and there'll be like loads of other better street photographers that could just be like, oh, that's a good idea.
I've struggled as well to come up with ideas, and I'm like you. I think of an idea and think, oh, that's interesting, and then I'll talk myself out of it.
Yeah. But that's the problem is you have to sit on projects for ages. That's how you do good ones. You can't you can't have like a 1 day project.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but like you're not going to make a book out of it. But like, do you know what I mean? To have like an extensive project, you need to like sit on it for a long time.
Yeah.
But that's my problem is like I sit on it long enough and then go, actually, it's rubbish.
Like I think with the last video with the blacksmith, I'm excited about that because I think we can take portraits of interesting people who do interesting jobs who are just interesting people. And I think that's quite a cool project to do that. So it's kind of like a video photography project.
That's a project that kind of like...
we can share on this.
And it merges into the YouTube.
If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it now. But I have other ideas. Like I said, the bus stops previously, where I'm like, but all I've done is take a photo of one bus stop, and then I'm like, that's fucking boring. But like I've seen a photography book where it was like one bus stop and loads of photos of this bus stop. It was like a big bus like station. Right. But like over the course of years. Yeah. So that's a cool project.
That's the other thing, isn't it? Yeah, like projects that are over the course of tens of years. It's like, it's a whole nother thing.
And then there's like accidental projects as well, where it's like with Joel Meyerowitz here, he made a project of flowers because he noticed like one photo he took where there was some flowers in one of the photos, and then thought, oh, I'll look back at what I've previously done. And then there was hundreds of photos of people holding flowers, or like there was flowers.
That's the best kind when you don't know.
Accidental.
Because then you can look back and go, oh, I've got it. I've done it now. So I kind of had that with the bikes, but that was one that I'd kind of just talked myself down on. I was like, I don't really like that anymore.
Yeah.
But it could still be good. It's just, I don't know.
We come back to it, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Like in contrast, I think Kyle McDougall, whose book I've got here, his projects always seem quite, I am going to do this and this is the project. So like with this one, it was an American Mile, and then these were like all through like Route 66 and America. Yeah. And then he's doing a British Mile, so it ties in with this, but it's going through loads of British stuff. And then he has like Welsh like slag heaps and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then Jamie and the Jam, he did a video on telephone boxes. Yeah. Which I will talk about later because I've got a book that he might enjoy. Yeah.
He might have already.
He's probably got it.
He might have that might have inspired him. Maybe. I don't know. If it hasn't, then he'll definitely like it.
Yeah. Should we talk about that now?
The books.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. It goes into the project side of stuff.
So my photo book is that. So this reminds me of I watched the Jamie and the Jam video where he was doing like photography on telephone boxes, and I think like 10 days later I was in a National Trust used bookshop, which I think are brilliant. 60% of the time you'll get a decent photo book.
Oh right, yeah. Cool.
So this was when
how much?
I think it's like £2.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, I was thinking £2.
Yeah. So this is when they were discontinuing the red telephone boxes at the end of the 80s. So this came out in 1989, and they were upgrading them to the horrible BT ones that no one's ever going to take a photo of. But now, like, we're in 2025, and they're kind of turning these telephone boxes into like defibrillators and libraries and all sorts of different things. And there's very few that are actual in use as telephone boxes because everyone's obviously got mobiles.
Are there
and
any?
stuff.
You might have to do some
I think there are a
research.
few. I think the one in Whitchurch might be.
Really?
Yeah. And like sometimes I've heard of times where they're going to discontinue one and take the phone out. So loads of people from that village go and use it for like a day. And it's had like its yearly use in that day because they're all just sort of, they spend like make a call there over the course of one day.
That's funny.
But yeah, there's some great stuff in there if you want to take a look. But
so this is not like strictly a photo book. It's more of a like, it's a requiem for a red box because it's got like these
different
diagrams and stuff on the front, isn't it? Some illustration.
But there are some really good photographs of the telephone boxes in there. If you haven't seen the Jamie and the Jam video, he's kind of doing this now and going around taking photos.
Yeah.
And they are very photogenic as telephone boxes.
Yeah. I don't know, are telephone boxes a thing like in other parts of the world? Maybe they are, but they're just not prominent, are they? This definitely looks like it was taken on film, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it would have been an 89.
Looks like a Fuji or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you reckon? What do you guys think? It's hard to say.
Early morning, I think, or late, like in the evening.
Yeah.
The sun is setting.
I think it
or
could
rising.
Could be a Fuji.
Yeah.
I don't know what tells me that.
But yeah, some good stuff in there, I think. Cool. So yeah, I think like that is probably, I doubt that's all one photographer, but it's all telephone boxes in the 80s. But it's a nice book.
Lovely book, that, Mark.
There's something about stuff that's like
mundane.
Yeah, and British, quintessentially British.
Right.
Like the tube, telephone boxes, post boxes, stuff like that really sort of stands out. So do you have any, apart from the one that you're not allowed to talk about, do you have any photo projects that you're working on or have thought about? Or
yeah, there were the bikes, and that was kind of one that I had quite a lot of, so it felt like one I could work on. I could pick that one up again, but I think I just stopped taking photos of bikes because I just realised they weren't that. They didn't make that good photos. There was like a more, when we had like a lot of that fog, I was really liking some of the like liminal space kind of emptiness photos, and I did get a good amount of photos that were like that, but I think I've kind of like lost that one. I'm not really sure where to go with it, so I think I want to focus on just street photography stuff and try and focus on this. I think main one.
You'll find over a course of years you'll have loads of people with hats, and over there you'll have people that are asleep on the street. You seem to find a lot of them.
Do I?
Yeah, you've had at least 3 when you've been with me.
Oh yeah, he was asleep.
So I think over a few years you'll have enough for a book of just street sleepers.
The sleepy something. I don't know.
Yeah, but
it could be something like that.
Not necessarily homeless people. They're just sort of people that have fallen asleep on the street.
Yeah,
I think
you'll find on the street. There we go. Someone will do it now because someone will be like, "Oh yeah, I've got loads of that."
Well, if you're watching this in 2029, then Ben's got that book out.
I have said like I might just chuck a load of my favourite stuff together and make a zine, just of that. Like, not really expecting anyone to want it, but I just kind of feel like I want to make something, So, yeah.
For me, like where I live, I think that would be good over the course of like 20 or 30 years to see how it changes.
Yeah.
And how that would work. Like I don't think like no one's going to be interested in that right now because it's like what they see now, but there'll be a certain nostalgia to it.
Oh yeah, right.
If I've got stuff from 2023 onwards, and we're in like 2050, they can look back and be like, oh yeah, I remember when it was like that.
Yeah.
So I think quite locally that would be a point of interest.
I think some of our tube stuff could be quite good because I don't know how much of that's going to change. But a lot of that hasn't changed, so it might not change.
It'd just be the people that slightly
that
change.
On it, yeah.
Although we said, I think we were talking previously, what people are wearing hasn't really changed since the 90s. But it's only like the technology that's changed.
Yeah. I guess there are some like niche fashion things that come and go.
Which is what I think we seek out when we're. I think probably most street photographers do that. They'll look for someone who looks quite unique.
Yeah, standing out. Yeah.
Would you have any advice for people that are thinking of starting a project, or would you say just find something that's fits over time?
I feel like I'm not really qualified to like
We've not been
give
doing
advice
it that long.
on like projects really, because I don't think I've like successfully done one. I guess you kind of just need to have a good like plan for how you're actually going to achieve it, you know. I feel like I need a way to kind of remind myself to look out for these things that are going to fall under the kind of whatever the topic of the project is. So yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I think something you find interesting, even if it's accidental, like one of my previous photo books was Under the Bridge, which is like Chelsea Football Club from the 80s to the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
And this is like someone who was going to all the games, so that obviously picked up loads of photographs of the fans throughout that time. So he probably didn't set out to do a photo book 20 years in the future, but it became that.
Yeah.
But it's something he was interested in, documenting that. So something you're interested in that you're documenting and always have a camera are probably two things. If you're going to have one camera that you're bringing with you, what would yours be? Mine wouldn't be a film camera.
Oh, what do you mean? Like what I would carry around
every
all the time?
Everyday
Yeah,
carry.
the Fuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The X100F.
Yeah.
Which we've done a video on.
It's very good.
Because film is expensive and you don't know what the light's going to be like all the time. So if you've got a digital camera with you, it becomes a lot easier.
Definitely, yeah. I was going to say something else as well for projects is I personally feel like I want it to feel somewhat original. Even though I'm convinced that nothing is original anymore. You know, like we're way
They
past...
said that 100 years ago, I think.
No, I think photography is way past the point of having, like, original ideas. Maybe that's really... I don't know. Maybe
I think you could put your own spin on anything.
Yeah, maybe. But, like, I don't know. I want it to... whatever the project is, I want it to feel like it's somewhat original. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Everything I think of, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, someone's probably done it.
Yeah. So you could do something that's really boring.
Yeah.
And no one's...
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like, I doubt anyone's taken photos of, like, gutters.
Yeah.
Because it's not interesting.
No.
Fuck. We're not just going to list boring things now, because that would be boring for you as well at home.
Yeah.
Or on the train. I don't know where you are.
I'm definitely get slated for saying there's no original ideas, but...
Do you want to show us your photo book?
Yeah. I was
Why did you choose this?
I just bought it recently. I kept seeing it on Instagram. It just was cool. It's called Shop Cats of Hong Kong. And yeah, I don't know, it's just cute, isn't it?
Just the cover?
Yeah.
Cute cat. I bought a book because it's a cute cat.
No, I just like the idea of... this really ties into like the project thing well, because I just like the idea that this guy kind of noticed that a lot of the shops in Hong Kong have cats.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea that he decided to photograph them in the shops. And it's just a really nice collection of photos. And some of them aren't like really obvious, you know, like it's not just a photo of the cat. Like some of them are hard to spot. Like I was flicking through and I was like, there ain't even a cat in that one. And he has also done Shop Cats of China. So...
a wider area.
Yeah, so although that's obviously a thing in that region. And he's done a little series.
So was this an accidental one, or was this like he set out to take photos of?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't really know the story. I don't know if he really...
Cool though. It's a very
so
you thing to find, I think.
Is it? Yeah, I can't remember where I saw it, but I definitely saw it on Instagram or something. I mean, the individual photos are good, actually, but like a lot of the time with some projects, like the individual photos might not be that interesting.
I think there's different ways of going about it. Either it's an accidental thing, or you set out to go out and do a project.
Yeah.
Which is what I think the greatest photography project is, and that is What I See by Brooklyn Beckham.
Yeah.
So this is the best photo book, including my favourite photo.
Can we cut back? Quick cut back to when I got Mark this book, just to see his reaction, because it was just golden. You're going to love it.
I always feel pressure when I open a present.
Pressure for what? Pressure to go...
That's fantastic.
It gets better, open it. this sign?
Who's Amy?
I don't know.
And I think his photo, I can't find it right now, but his photo of an elephant.
Oh yeah, and his description is
quite possibly the best photograph of an elephant ever. I'll put it in there. But you think you saw him the other day as well?
Oh, I don't know if it was.
You saw
but it was
Ben
someone
saw someone who looked
someone
like
who looks
Beckham.
so much like him. Yeah, and I'm not convinced it was him, but it really looked like him.
In the comments, let us know: is this Brooklyn Beckham? Yes or no?
Yeah,
I think that's good for everyone involved. And then like, another way to go about it as well is to have like a story idea, and I think that's what Harry Borden does well.
Yeah.
So he's been on our podcast previously. So he's got On Divorce, and then his portraits as well.
Single dads.
Yeah, Single Dad Survivor as well, which is down there. But On Divorce is like divorced men. Mm-hmm. Single Dads is single dad. So for whatever reason, they're a single dad.
And they're very personal projects to him as well, aren't
and
they?
Survivor as well. The Holocaust angle to it. I think his photo books are very much like personal to him and story rather than like what he's known for in the celebrity portrait.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's quite nice that he can do that as like for his own creative endeavour.
Yeah.
So maybe that's an angle we can look at as well.
Yeah, I think that probably is an important part of it, isn't it? To keep you motivated, it has to be something that is like personal and I don't know, it's gonna like embody you. I guess. Do you know what I mean? Like, like the bikes one was quite personal for me, but that's kind of like, I mean, compared to like divorce.
It's quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, like I would say.
A heavy subject.
Yeah, but that's what makes it good, I think. Yeah. You know, like the single dads one is like quite like shocking on some of them. And it's not how you expect. And it's good because it kind of opens your eyes to like the types of single dads, basically, because it isn't just people that are divorced. Yeah. You know, there's loads of stories in there. And a lot of his books are like almost like 50-50 stories and photos.
There's a lot of words in there.
Yeah, and I think he really likes the words side of it as well.
The story behind the person in the photograph.
Yeah, which is another angle as well. If you're a writer or you consider yourself, you know, you like writing about your photos, that can also add loads of value to the photo itself. You might have photos that look mundane, but together there's a collective, you know, that's what makes it. But then it goes again for like the words that are in the books, you know, that could then make it all as well.
I quite like hearing the story behind something.
Yeah.
So whether it's like a film or a TV show, I like seeing how it's made.
Yeah.
And like with music, like I like to hear what's behind that song and why it was written and what the words mean.
Yeah.
And like even with photographs, I want to know like what's behind it.
Yeah, there must be so many photographs that like have a story behind them that you don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's loads of historical ones that you look back on and be like, oh, there's a story behind that. And then you find out like, I'm thinking of one like Lee Miller in Hitler's bathtub.
Right.
And like you think, oh, it's just like a snapshot, but like she put effort into like putting Hitler's portrait at a certain point, her boots on the floor at a certain point. I'll find this photo so you can see it.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't just like she went and did it. There was a lot of thought that went into it. And where we were the other day on the underground.
But you wouldn't know that unless the person is the type to want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Like, because I know there are a lot of photographers like me who don't really
want it.
Yeah. You want the photo to speak the words.
Yeah.
But that's more because I don't like writing about stuff. So it's kind of I like to leave the photo to talk. You know. But that's what I mean. Like, there must be so many photos out there that have an interesting story behind them, but like the person who shot them just isn't one to, you know, put that out because they just want to let the photo do it. So, yeah.
So I think that's a good time to talk about our photos of the month.
Sure.
We'll talk about our photos and talk about
I did have a little bit of news I thought we could talk about.
Should we do news at the end?
We can do it at the end.
Yeah. Hang tight for the news.
It was the Fuji X half.
Let's do photos of the month and then we're going to end with the news.
Yeah.
We're going all backwards today.
I know, yeah, we have done it a bit.
But it's all right. I like it.
I mean, you can chop it up and move it around.
No, I'm not going to do that. It's a lot of effort.
Right.
What's your number 3?
It's this one of you in Winchester in the...
Oh, bloody hell. That was ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I do like that, though.
I'd actually... It's 12th of May
Oh, we're counting that.
And if it took a week to develop, I think I might have shot it at the start of May.
Yeah.
Not really sure. But yeah, like I barely shot anything for the last like month, so I just wanted to get. All I've shot is like the soapbox derby, so I wanted to have a couple that just weren't just that. So your face is so symmetrical in that as well.
Yeah, weird, isn't it? The glasses do help me look symmetrical.
You reckon? Yeah.
My number 3 is.
Oh yeah, nice.
This was when I shot the Blacksmith. This was at the Rural Life Living Museum, and they had a VE Day weekend. Yeah, so this was just like there was loads of reenactors getting ready, and this was like on the back of a Jeep, and I think it's just quite a nice like logo. I quite like all history and army stuff as well. I'm not really into army, like being in the army, but
yeah,
the historical element to it I think is very interesting. So what's your 2?
My 2 is this one.
Oh, nice.
I didn't want them all to just be the soapbox derby, so my number. You could probably guess what my number 1 is going to be now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a weird like thing. Oh my god, it's another person sleeping.
Person.
Oh right.
This is it. Like you are making a book. 2029. Watch out.
All right. Okay.
Streeters.
What did we say? Yeah. Street sleepers.
Sleeping policemen.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Lovely. Yeah. So this woman was just asleep on the floor whilst soapboxes were racing by.
It wasn't even like. We hadn't even been waiting that long, so I don't know why.
No, she's asleep.
Or she wasn't asleep. Maybe she was dead. She got hit
dead.
She got hit by a soapbox.
I don't think she was. There was no reports of anyone dying, and no one around there seemed like at all concerned.
No,
but maybe that's just an Andover thing.
There was a guy went there like behind me.
Yeah.
That kind of like looked at us and went.
Yeah.
Because we were taking photos of her like laying on the floor. But
that's great. Yeah. Cool.
That's all right.
Dear, oh dear. Right, this one of mine is on Portra 400. This is of the Blacksmith. It's my favourite one of from the video, and I quite like because it was low light. I was getting a bit of like movement. So like I quite like that about these photos that it looks a bit alive.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do like that. I think I did well enough that the rest of it's in focus and still.
Can I see
just his hand going? You're going to say it's not in focus now, aren't you?
No. I wanted to see like the light. It's the there's obviously that window behind him, but there must have been like something in front of him. His face is like just lit up, nicely. I used the natural available light.
Exactly.
That's another Harry Borden quote.
Stymied. I think that was a really good video. I think I got some good photos from it.
Yeah, you did.
And we've got another of that series coming up.
Yeah.
With my number 1.
Let's
do your number 1 first.
Yeah, cool. So my number 1 is from the soapbox derby again, but it is actually a soapbox this time, and it's the one that you really like.
So good, yeah. It looks like 1926.
Yeah, I was saying to you yesterday, I kind of got lucky that I decided to do this photo with that soapbox. Like I did, because I didn't really plan that.
Yeah.
But I did, in the back of my mind, I was like, I want to do a tracking shot where you like kind of slow the shutter speed down a bit and you like follow the thing and then snap it as you're moving. And that's how you get the background moving, but the thing kind of
so
still.
Good, yeah. Bloody clever.
Yeah, I was like, right, let's just try it on this one. And it just happened to be like a really cool.
It's really good.
And it almost looks like like F1 in the 1920s or something like. But if that was like, if I had have done it with
the Flintstones one,
it's the one that
it would have looked really weird.
It would just look crap, wouldn't it? Yeah, like it just wouldn't have been as good, would it? So
I think your film stock of choice that day was absolutely spot on.
It did come out nice.
Yeah.
I do like that film. I kind of want to get some more. I don't shoot that much black and white, but that's probably one I would shoot again. It was just, you said it was going to be really contrasty, and it was, but still had a lot of detail. To look old, didn't it? So
lovely that.
Yeah.
Good job.
Happy with that.
No one asleep in the background on that one?
No.
Okay.
But I will be watching out for street sleepers.
My number 1, you love it for a reason, a different reason I love it. So I love it for the look on the guy's face.
Yeah.
So this is the Bubbles man. We'll be shooting a video with him in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And this will be like a look into how he got into bubbles. And we'll do loads of different photos and stuff. But he was at an event I was at with my son, doing his bubble thing.
Yeah.
Is
this a full-time job?
I think so. We'll find out.
Really? Oh yeah.
But yeah, he does well. Like he does kids parties, does
Yeah.
events. So I guess he does like corporate events. If you need a bubble guy, from what I saw of him, he's passionate about bubbles, Ben.
Fair enough.
Got to be passionate about something.
Yeah.
But yeah, his whole outfit. I tell you what, he's bloody good with bubbles. We were there 3 hours and like weren't bored because there's so much bubble fun going on. Okay, so I like about this photo that he's got like a little smirk on his face. And he's like,
like nonchalant.
I'm good at this.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
You like the little kid in the bottom right hand corner, whose hands are like flayed, who's so excited that there's bubbles. Which little kids are excited about bubbles. Bubbles are exciting.
It's like he's had like a stroke from excitement.
His fingers are going in crazy angles. But
the sheer amount of bubbles in it as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of bubbles.
Yeah, like that's a crazy amount of bubbles to get in one photo.
So I look forward to shooting that video.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll learn a lot about bubbles.
Yeah.
Because he's part of, I don't know, I'm not getting this right, but he's part of like the Association of Bubble
Union.
Artists. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's big on the bubbles. So
yeah,
that's something to look forward to.
We were joking about like we need to get in on the drama. I want to know why.
Yeah, he hates another bubble.
Yeah, who hates who? Like who's dealing the unregulated bubble solution or something?
There's some shady goings on in the bubble world. News. We'll finish on the news. We said, and we are fulfilling our promise. What you got?
Me?
What is the news?
Well, I kind of wanted to. It's not really film news. It's photography news.
Go on.
I wanted to talk about the Fujifilm. Is it the X-Half? Is that what they've called it?
Is this a camera?
Yeah, you saw it, didn't you?
I
sent it to you.
Yeah.
It's like an X100.
So it's a digital camera
that's half frame.
That's half frame. What is the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
You know what? I really like the concept of. I've always wanted a camera that was digital but felt like shooting film. So I like
and you
that
wind
concept.
it on, don't you?
Yeah, I like that concept, but I don't get why it's half frame.
Weird. I think because a lot of people that get into film photography are like
portrait
younger guys.
It's a portrait, yeah.
That's the film they're getting into.
No, but it's vertical.
Yeah, so that's why they're doing it.
Everything's vertical, yeah. I think that is it, yeah.
So that's the point, but what is the point?
Yeah, it's really expensive as well.
Yeah.
That's the other crazy. Like, we thought the Pentax 17 was expensive.
How much is it?
600-700.
If you got loads of money and are stupid enough to buy that, buy it.
Yeah, £700.
£700. I don't think it's worth it. I wouldn't, but it's not for me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
But I'm not sure who it's for.
Young people.
At £700, that's insane.
Young rich people.
But it doesn't. I mean, obviously, I've not held one in my hands. But from the videos I've watched, it looks like really crap, like quality, like it looks plasticky. Yeah. So,
what are your thoughts on it? Because I came across very strong there.
I think it's rubbish, but there's concepts within it that I like.
Yeah.
Like, so you can set it to like only take a series of 36 photos like film, and you can't see any of them until the 36 photos are up, and you have to wind on. I like that concept. As stupid as that, some people will think that is ridiculous, but I like that part of it, because I would like a camera like the Fuji, like our X100s, that can just restrict you in the way film does, but doesn't involve developing. I basically want film without the developing, because I like the period between shooting and getting the photos, but I just don't want it to be as long.
So if it was full frame and like 300 quid, you'd buy one.
Probably. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I probably would as well, actually.
Yeah. But
this is half. I think.
But they wouldn't
like half frame.
But they wouldn't do like an X107 or whatever is the newest one. They wouldn't do that with that concept because it's too gimmicky. Because that's like high-end, like, enthusiast camera, isn't it? The X100. So it's like they can't start putting all these fucking gimmicks in it, like, because people just think it's ridiculous. But this is like, I don't know, you know, it can be gimmicky. So because it is just a gimmick, it's one big gimmick, isn't it? Like, why is it shooting the wrong way around? That's just a gimmick in itself. So yeah,
let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah,
we've got opinions. We'd like to know yours.
Yeah. Do you care? Does anyone care?
Do you even watch this far? I doubt it.
No.
Anyway,
I'd love to hear from someone who's got one.
Yeah.
But I'd be very surprised if anyone watching us has got one. Like, anyone who's got 700 quid to splash on an X half is probably not watching our fucking YouTube channel.
No. It's probably out taking photos.
Probably.
Shagging.
Spending money.
Cool. That'll do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment if you're able. And we'll see you next time for more sexy and exciting adventures on film. Next week we've already said what we're doing. Forgot.
Yeah.
Soapbox.
Oh, soapbox, yeah.
And lots of bubbles coming soon.
Isn't that funny? Have we got this soap?
Soap.
And then a
Bubbles.
bit more soap the next week. Don't forget to use code the full frame on Liquid Death. You won't get any money off, and the code won't work.